Turkey, Syria, and Iraq are separated by the Euphrates River, a major international waterway. After supplying the majority of the area's water for over 10,000 years, this river started to dry up as a result of the terrifyingly odd conditions that have led to the drought. It is not shocking that the Euphrates River is drying up, as this was predicted in a terrifying prophecy that seems to be coming true. The Euphrates River has been the site of a horrible scientific discovery. Everything was shaken all across the world by the discovery made in the dried riverbed. So this video is going to be about the Euphrates River. Stay with us till the end of the video to get to know the details about her strange life story. A river of unimaginable significance to humanity. The Euphrates River was pivotal in human history because of its part in establishing agriculture in the Mesopotamia region. In this section of the planet, agriculture emerged first. The Euphrates River was an important source of drinking water for humanity, as well as an important resource for agriculture and industry. After learning from Mesopotamia's success with agriculture, other nations soon adopted the practice. The Euphrates, one of 4 rivers said to have flowed from the Garden of Eden, is mentioned first in the Bible, and it shares the nickname Twin Rivers with the Tigris. Several ancient cultures, including the Babylonians, Sumerians, and Akkadians, developed in the Mesopotamian region around the Euphrates River. The Euphrates and Tigris River begin in the Taurus Mountains and flow through Turkey, Syria, and Iraq until emptying into the Persian Gulf. Unfortunately, because of the river's drying up, water levels have decreased significantly along its entire length. The river has drained up completely throughout most of its former course, leaving the riverbed in full view. The river's drying up caused a severe drought, and the previously fertile land became a desert. Farmers, villagers, and fishermen who once thrived off the river's waters now find their livelihoods in shambles. What drives a river to dry up all of a sudden is a mystery. What impact will this have on the daily lives of those who depend on the Euphrates River? Many people believe that the river was dried up by something supernatural and biblical because of the numerous mysterious things that have been dug up from the riverbed. Many human activities are hypothesized to have accelerated the river's decline. Location of the Euphrates River. When the Kara and the western Euphrates rivers come together, a river is formed that is roughly 2780 kilometers in length. Northern Syria and southern Iraq are home to the canyons and gorges from which the Euphrates River emerges. The Kabul and Balak rivers drain from eastern Syria into the river. The headwaters of both rivers are in Turkey, but the Euphrates ceases getting fresh water sometime between its headwaters as well as its delta. In its place, it flows north of Basra in southern Iraq, where it joins the Tigris to form the Shat al-Arab, which ultimately flows into the Persian Gulf. Basra's marshes were once rather extensive due to the river's many tributaries, but in the 1990s, Saddam Hussein's administration drained them in an effort to remove the insurgent marsh Arabs, who'd already made their homes there. Although the draining policy has been reversed after the 2003 invasion of Iraq, it is still unknown how well the marshes will make a full recovery. Hit Iraq is 1930 miles upstream and only 53 meters above sea level, therefore shallow draft boats are needed to move freight there. At the hit point, the river becomes too dangerous for commercial vessels due to the shoals and rapids that were caused by the annual flood caused by snowmelt in the mountains of northeastern Turkey. Protocol agreed upon by Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. The Euphrates River is crucial to the economies of Turkey, Iraq, and Syria because of its role as an agricultural water source. This river originates in the highlands of eastern Turkey, and the Turkish government has constructed many dams and hydroelectric plants along its length to take advantage of the abundant water supply. Turkey, Syria, and Iraq continue to dispute over who gets to use the water from the Euphrates. For the common benefit, the three countries agreed about a century ago to share the river's resources. Divergent demands for the river's water, though, have rekindled tensions. The governments of Syria and Iraq have accused Turkey of restricting the flow of the Euphrates River when it became more powerful under Turkey's hands. This is why in 1946, the two countries negotiated another treaty. During the 1970s, Iraq suffered from a terrible drought caused by Turkey's tobacco dam on the river. If Turkey does not release the water for Iraq, the Iraqi authorities threatened to bomb the cigarette dam. Despite another agreement, Syria and Turkey have built more dams just on the Euphrates than Iraq has, reducing the amount of water available to Iraq. Iraq has taken major damage because of the dryness of the Euphrates River. In April 2014, Turkey began limiting the flow of the Euphrates River into Syria, and by May of that year, the river had almost completely dried up. That Turkey would behave in such a way is a clear violation of the trilateral agreement that was just concluded. The river's water level has been progressively declining in all three countries since then for unknown reasons, with disastrous results. The impact of the drought on the Euphrates. Millions of people around the world have been impacted by the drought, but the effects have been felt most keenly in Iraq and Syria. More than 400 settlements across the Euphrates River have been completely wiped out, displacing an estimated 200,000 people. In most of Iraq and Syria, the riverbed is now visible. Even though the river's water level has dropped considerably, it is still running in some locations. As a result of dissolved fertilizers used on crops, the water that flows into Turkey and Syria remains polluted and poisonous. As a result of the dumping of these toxic chemicals into the Euphrates River, the river's water has become too salty to be consumed. Although Iraq has some lakes and ponds now that the Euphrates River has dried up, these bodies of water are completely dry for the great portion of the year, because Iraq has the highest average temperatures. Intensified evaporation has facilitated the whole disappearance of water from these regions, which in turn has contributed to the annual rise in temperature that is a hallmark of global warming and its devastating impacts. According to recent studies on drought in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, the annual evaporation rate in Turkey is 2 cubic kilometers, in Syria it is 1 cubic kilometers, and in Iraq it is 5 cubic kilometers. Everything points to a terrible drought in Iraq that has turned the land salty and barren, forcing tens of thousands of people to flee across the Euphrates. The Euphrates River, a real biblical prophecy. Although the subsequent drought along the river's path has been attributed to dam construction and removal, many people still believe that the Euphrates River's drying up is a fulfillment of a biblical prophecy. The Bible describes many rivers, including the Euphrates, which played a pivotal role as the first river to flow from the Garden of Eden and supplied essential resources to the Hebrew army. On the other hand, the Bible predicts a terrible catastrophe on the Euphrates. According to Revelation, the path to power in the east was cleared when the sixth angel emptied his vial into the Euphrates River in 612. The events unfolding along the Euphrates River now have striking parallels to this ancient story. There is no more water since it evaporated at a rate that was never witnessed before in human history. The Euphrates River will dry up again at the end of time because the sixth angel will command it, according to biblical prophecy. It also portends the approach of something more badly from the dry ground beneath the Euphrates riverbed. The sixth angel sounded his trumpet, and I heard a voice coming from the four horns of the golden altar that is before God, it says in Revelation 10:13-15. Supposedly, on this day, in this month, and in this year, the sixth angel with the trumpet releases the four archangels who were imprisoned by the massive river Euphrates, and those archangels utilize the chance to kill out a third of the human race. Since this Bible passage asserts that 4 fallen angels were imprisoned under the Euphrates River, and that as the river began to dry up at the end times, an angel of God would release people to wreak havoc on earth during the apocalyptic days, it may be viewed as a religious footnote by those who are not Christians. In fact, the river is ebbing, and researchers have discovered some fascinating artifacts along its banks. Several mystery caves have been discovered, and many have reported hearing strange noises coming from the riverside. If this is the case, the end of the world as we know it, as predicted in the Bible, is imminent. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video and want more exciting content, subscribe and like our channel. Let us know what you think about her in the comments section.